Hey everyone, welcome to Ajay and Nathan Discuss Movies, a show in which we discuss movies both old and new. Today we have three movies that we're discussing.
Yeah.
Because we took last week off, which was, in my opinion, well needed. Very well needed. But we are discussing three movies. Nathan, you watched a movie recently.
I watched a third of the movies that are on our topic list today.
Yes. We discussed this movie a little over 2 weeks ago, but Nathan did watch it this past weekend.
I did. I got the opportunity.
And Nathan, take it away. What is this movie titled and who directed it?
It's The Materialists, directed by Celine Song, her sophomore feature after Past Lives, starring Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal.
So we kind of know what the movie's already about.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, it's basically a love triangle in which Dakota Johnson's character falls madly in love with Pedro Pascal, who's a wealthy, affluent individual, but she's already in this entanglement with Chris Evans, who was her former fling, and she must deal with the wreckage of and the emotional toll of both these relationships. I gave it a really warm and positive review, but Nathan, what were your thoughts on this movie?
Materialists is interesting. It's a very interesting movie. Watching it for the first time, so much of it baffled me because I couldn't understand like the tone it was going for. Kind of, it beats you over the head with what the movie is about. Like it's not subtext, it's just text. It's just like, oh, it's about like, you know, how we try to simplify relationships into and like preferences in partners, try to simplify them because Dakota Johnson's a matchmaker, and every time she talks about people, relationships, just like, oh, they check the boxes, like they're perfect for each other. Oh, relationships are just math. It's like that's repeated over and over again ad nauseum, and so you get what the movie is about. It's a romantic comedy, but it's not very romantic and it's not very funny. And so everything is just like, it's all over the spectrum in terms of like quality and focus.
You didn't think the lesbian Trump supporter bit was funny?
I thought it was a little funny, but like, I don't know. It comes out of nowhere. Like those little bits of humor when she's at her job, it feels like it's just a distraction from the main plot where, oh, she's in love with Pedro Pascal because he checks off everything she's looking for in a partner, but also she has this past relationship with Chris Evans, and like she's the guy she emotionally connects with, but unfortunately he's poor, even though he's like the most well-off poor person I've ever seen. You can't be poor and own a car in New York. That makes no sense to me. It's not that I don't know. You have a car in the most driver, like, I don't know. It's weird. Everything about this movie is weird.
Yeah, so I was a little bit complimentary on this film when we first discussed it, or when I first discussed it a little over 2-3 weeks ago. I've since mellowed down on that. It's not to say that I hate this film now, but I do see some glaring issues with the film. When it turns into a Law and Order SVU episode, halfway through,
that was
I was just like, this subplot isn't really needed, and I don't think it really helped the movie. Having said all that, I still enjoyed the movie. I still thought it was fun. I thought it was entertaining.
It is it's an incredibly entertaining movie.
In a lot of ways, I did get a "Don't Worry, Darling" feel from this movie. That's not to say that this film is on the same wavelength as Don't Worry, Darling. That's not to say that it is of the same quality as Don't Worry, Darling. But there is an admirable charm to it that keeps you entertained. That may sound like a diss. It's not a diss. But okay. I do think there is an entertaining aspect to this film that keeps you hooked into the film.
One time, I was with my mom, and we were meeting Barack Obama, and it was a huge deal. He was talking to her, and she goes, "Oh, Mr. President, this is my daughter. She's just did a movie. She's an actress too. She was in The Social Network. She's in her underwear." And I died. I died inside.
I agree. It is very entertaining. It is, I think, It's directed very well. There's a lot of great shot choices and cinematography to keep things, to keep you engaged, to keep it interesting. I think there are some good performances. I think there is 1.5 good performances in this movie. I think Chris Evans is really good. I think Pedro Pascal is very good, although he kind of disappears at some point and just is not given a lot to do, and Dakota Johnson is there.
See, this is where I think...
Is this where we're gonna,
we
diverge?
Disagree,
okay.
Because I do think Dakota Johnson did well considering what she was given with. I don't feel as if you can throw any actor in here and she would do well. I feel as if there were issues with the script. There were issues with the character development. And I feel like if you put in any other actor, they would also give a very similar performance. That's not to say that Dakota Johnson was amazing in this film. There were issues with her acting. But I feel as if the hate that she's been getting, not just with this film, but in recent years with her film choices and with her acting, I don't think she's a bad actor. I think that there were issues with this film and with her character, but that's not to say that she's bad in this film, because I don't think so. I think she given with what she was given, I thought she did pretty well.
I see where you're coming from, and I think sometimes she works because the character is written to be kind of cold and vapid, and it makes sense. Choices in her performance make sense with that assessment of the character. But then there are other times where it feels like either she was given weird direction or just didn't know how to act in the scene. I'm thinking of one of the final scenes in the movie between her and Chris Evans, and he's fantastic in it. When they're at the wedding, he's pouring his heart out, his face. He's making these small little choices with his face and his tone of voice. It's amazing. And then it cuts to her, and it's she's barely been listening, and she's just making the same face she's been making the entire movie. And it's I just want a bit more. I want a bit more out of that performance.
But see, I feel like she played up that vapid character quite well in that instance, because she is a vapid character that is very shallow with her interest. And I feel like in that moment, it kind of illustrated the vapidness of that character.
Yeah, but I feel like by that point in the movie, when we're in the final third, we should be experiencing some kind of change, because it seems like her character is going in a direction where her value systems are changing, but they feel very sudden. I guess a spoiler, when she breaks up with Pedro Pascal, it felt so very sudden. I understood the reasoning for it, where she's we don't actually have any chemistry. We're just dating each other because we both recognize oh, you're what I am looking for in a partner. Love be damned. You just hit all the boxes, which is the thing they repeat over and over again. But when it happened, it just felt so sudden, because I felt like we never really saw them.
You're a unicorn.
You're a unicorn.
I was like, what?
It's you wouldn't like me if I were 5'6", and then
that was funny.
That was very funny, but it's with a lot of the movie, when I was laughing, I wasn't sure if that was the time I was supposed to laugh, or if I was supposed to think this was funny, or if I was supposed to take it seriously. When she's following home one of her clients through New York City, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be taking it seriously, or if it was supposed to be very comedic and funny, because it's shot very straight-faced, and there's whatever score is playing in the background is not light. It feels very heavy, and the conversation they have is very heavy, but it's she's following this woman home, and she's dressed how the Ninja Turtles dress when they go out into New York in disguise, just a trench coat and a hat. And I'm should this be funny? Should this be awkward and weird? I don't know. There's so many moments like that in the movie where it's I don't know what the intention was behind this scene.
I think that's the goal of the movie, is to encourage discussion and debate.
It's definitely doing
because
that.
It's definitely not your streamlined, straightforward rom-com.
Not at all. Which I appreciate it taking big swings. That I will always love a movie that, whether or not it works for me, takes some big swings, does things in a way that no other movie would do, whether it's good or bad. I appreciate that this movie kind of defies like a category. It's all over the map. But again, I don't know how much of that is intentional or how much of that is just a failing.
Would you recommend it?
Weirdly, I would.
Okay.
Weirdly, I would just go into it knowing it's not gonna be what you expect it to be. It may be a little weird. It may be a little off kilter, but I think it has a lot of entertainment value. There's a lot of good scenes. There's a lot of confusing scenes. The Materialists. The Materialists.
Yeah.
Zeppelin. Oh, don't. What are you gonna do? Go get it. That one's probably lost forever.
Yeah, so overall, I enjoyed it. I want to push back on the idea that this is one of my top 5 films of the year, because I don't think it is. After further thought.
No, because Jurassic World took that over.
Yeah, we'll get into Jurassic World
Jurassic
Rebirth.
World took it over.
We'll get into that clunker of a movie. But I did watch 2 films these past 2 weekends. You did,
and I'll take over the hosting duties. Let's start with
F1.
F1. Let's start with Ajay. Tell us what is F1 about? Who directed it?
All right, F1, directed by Joseph Kosinski, stars Sonny Hayes as he comes back into the world of F1. He's an aging F1 driver, but comes back into Apex GP, which is the F1 team that he's back in, alongside with Joshua Pierce, played by Damson Idris. And it is a documentation of his life back into F1, trying to help out this bottom of the barrel team as they go through the thrills and chills of speed racing. And I loved it. I really love this film.
I don't even need to ask. Oh, what are your thoughts? You loved it. Okay.
It's quite a straightforward. If you watch Top Gun Maverick, and if you watch that film and enjoyed it, you'll enjoy this film.
Okay.
I thought this was a beautiful film. I thought the acting was amazing. I thought the visual effects were amazing. Obviously, it should be, because the budget was nearly $300 million for this film.
Okay, hefty.
It is a little bit on the longer side. It's 2.5 hours, but I think the spectacle of it all justifies the runtime.
Okay.
Meaning that I thought the special effects, I thought the visuals, all of it was really there. I thought this was a beautiful film. I thought it was a great film. I thought Brad Pitt does the Brad Pitt thing, in which he just plays himself.
He plays, yeah.
Just a hyper extension of himself. But it didn't really take me out of the film, to be honest with you. There are scenes in which you can look at and say, okay, why is that scene in there? Yeah. But generally speaking, I thought this was a fun time. I'm not going to lie. I won't get into spoilers just yet. But there's that moment later on in the film, near the end of the film, in which one person sacrifices his standings in the race.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say life.
No.
Is this medieval jousting?
No. He sacrifices his standings in the race to allow one other character to win.
Oh, that's kind of like in the climax to Cars.
Yeah, basically. You can do it, Sonny. You can do it. And I'm not going to lie, I shed a tear when that happened.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was a beautiful moment. And I thought the character dynamics were really great. I thought the relationship between Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce were great. The relationship between Brad Pitt's character and who's that Irish actor that's in the movie?
Irish actor?
I forget her name.
Javier Bardem?
Yeah. Irish actor Javier Bardem. Yes, exactly. No, but Bardem was really good in this film as well. Javier Bardem, I think, is he occupies that Benicio del Toro kind of vibe, in which, like, he's just very charismatic on screen.
Yeah.
Like his presence on screen is just like unparalleled to anyone else, and he really adds to the comedic effects of this movie.
Okay.
And I think the well-timed humor in this film was also really good.
Okay. Tell me about the score, the Hans Zimmer score.
All right, so yeah, on my letterbox, which I won't publicize for today, I won't publicly declare my letterboxd account because it is very personal. It's a personal matter.
Okay.
But on my letterboxd review, I said this is the first time in which Hans Zimmer music wasn't loud or annoying.
Yeah. Wasn't just like noise.
No, it wasn't just noise. Yeah, it wasn't noise. In a lot of ways, I'm pretty sure he was influenced by the Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross Challenger soundtrack, because this soundtrack is eerily reminiscent of that.
That's very interesting.
But yeah, that gets into the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing for this film. There's this song by Roddy Ricch that's pretty good. Tate McRae has a song on this. Madison Beer has a song on this soundtrack. Pretty good soundtrack. I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty good soundtrack. I enjoyed it.
Tell me this: did you see it in IMAX or did you just?
I watched it in Dolby.
Okay.
Yes. So heading to Dolby, I thought, okay, this is kind of dead. There's not that many people here. I came like 10, 15 minutes late, so everything was pitch black. And as soon as the movie ended, I'm like, no, every seat here is like filled. I'm like, what is happening? Like, what happened?
Everyone came in another 15 minutes after you.
Yeah, they just teleported. I was like, what happened? Like, I thought I was the only one here. It is a fun movie. It's definitely a dad movie.
That's what I've heard. It's a dad movie.
It's a dad movie. So if you're a person of that age, I think you'll enjoy it. Carrie Condon is her name, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Carrie Condon. The relationship between Brad Pitt's character and Carrie Condon's character was also really good in this film. But heading back into the dad aspects of the movie,
the dad specs.
the dadification of this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely for that age range. That is to say, I think it's in my top 5. I think it's in my top 5.
Okay.
My my top 5 is very broified.
Broified?
So
what's your top 5 right now?
I don't know. I have my top 4, but right now it's Warfare, F1, Sinners, and Mickey 17.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Top 4. We're still, early in the year.
Yeah.
So that number 5 spot.
If you put a gun to my head and said name your 5th film of the year, maybe Novocaine, just because it's like it's just background noise for me. I just watch it on the background and I can enjoy it. It's definitely like one of the films that I've definitely rewatched over the past few weeks.
Okay.
But what would be your top 5?
My top 5 right now, I've only got 2.
Really?
I've only got 2 that I could confidently say, like, oh, those are locked in place. It's Sinners and 28 Years Later. Again, gun to my head, you tell me to fill the other 3. I'd also say Warfare. I'd maybe put Bring Her Back on there. But again, that's only like gun to my head. I still like that movie, but like I'm not sure if it reaches a top 5. And then 5th, The Monkey. Because I can't think of anything else right now, so The Monkey. Or Black Bag, I don't know.
You said 4, so... Warfare, okay.
Yeah,
Makes
Warfare.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, no, right now I think it's still slim pickings for top 5 so far.
And we still have a bunch of movies that are going to come out. The Darren Aronofsky film I'm really excited about. The Dave Franco, Alison Brie film I'm really excited about.
Yeah, no, that looks interesting. But I don't know, at this
P.T.
point...
Anderson,
I've heard so many good things about F1, I feel like I'm slowly being worn down. It's like at this point, I think I have to see it.
You have to. I mean, listen. It's not like you're not going to if you're going to go into that film expecting like a very cogent piece of art that like provokes you and like makes you question the life around you. You're misunderstood.
All I'm looking for is some high octane vroom vroom action. That's what I'm looking for.
And that's what you're going to get.
Okay, then that's all I need.
It is a good film. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely in my top 5. Having said all that, it should be a good film because the budget is nearly $300 million.
You'd think, but we've been, tricked before.
Some big wigs are behind Jerry Bruckheimer,
Oh, Jerry.
He's a guy who also produced films such as Armageddon.
Oh, classic.
But yes, F1.
Any final thoughts, or have you gotten everything you needed to?
Yeah,
And we can move on to the main course.
The main course, yes.
Which is Ajay, your third movie
Not
that you saw.
Not to end this episode on a downer, but I did watch Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yes, and who is the director? of
Directed
Jurassic
by auteur Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards.
The film is basically about a group of a rag team of outlaws and rebels that fight to get the DNA samples of these archaic dinosaurs to help out a pharmaceutical CEO. The CEO, or the manager, is also a part of the team. So they go to this island to get and collect DNA samples to then used for pharmaceutical reasons. Okay. And the film is basically a documentation of that with dinosaurs that show up.
With dinosaurs.
Yeah, with dinosaurs.
There's dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And Ajay, what are your thoughts?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Pretty succinct.
I was watching this film, and I was like, this film oddly reminds me of Godzilla 2014.
Also directed by Gareth Edwards.
And I went back home, and I'm like, oh, it's the same director.
Yeah.
It's literally the same director.
Yeah. Can I ask, what made you... Why did I watch it? Why did you watch it?
I was
Jurassic
bored.
World? Okay, fair enough.
I didn't have anything else to do that
Then
day.
we're gonna take this from like a very just like stripped back perspective. Did it cure your boredom in a way that left you satisfied?
Not really.
Okay then.
Not really. There's a lot of product placement in this movie.
Is there really?
One of the opening scenes is basically this scientist who eats a Snickers.
Okay.
And a Snickers wrapper gets caught in this machine that brings a dinosaur to life and kills the scientist.
Oh, I would have liked it if the dinosaur ate a Snickers and then
Yeah.
At any point do they try to feed the dinosaurs candy?
I don't think so.
How disappointing.
But there was a lot of candy involved. Like the Mars Corporation definitely got their money's worth.
Chekhov's M&Ms.
Yeah, M&Ms were featured.
Oh, hell
in this film. M&Ms were featured in this film. There are a lot of issues that I have with this film. It's not good at all. And this franchise, there's no need for 7 of these movies.
Yeah,
there's no need.
Did you ever watch any of the previous Jurassic World movies?
Obviously, I watched the Spielberg one, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, well, Jurassic Park is different. There's Lost World and 3, but did you watch the Trevorrow?
I didn't watch
Jurassic
the Chris Pratt
World
ones.
Yeah,
I didn't watch any of them.
You didn't need to.
This film wasn't necessary.
No.
Because it basically just borrowed the same beats and patterns of those other films, but in a less fun way, in a less original way. I thought this film was not good. It made nearly $300 million in its first week. That's not a good sign. I'm part of the problem because I definitely did buy a ticket to see this film. Question for those that are watching: if one is an AMC A-lister and they go and see a movie, does that result in that movie getting a tally in the box office? If I decide...
That's a very good question.
That's a question
I don't know the answer to it,
yeah.
but that's a good question.
Because, like, if I watch a movie on my AMC A-list pass, but I didn't actually, like, buy an actual ticket to see the movie, like, in its $16 ticket to see the movie, does it count as a box office?
Would that same rule apply, like, you know, when you use, like, a gift card to get in? Like, does that count? Like, am I spending money, or...
I don't get the financials for movies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's considered, like, a part of the budget. Is marketing considered a part of the budget? Is it not?
For movies?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely
Is
marketing.
it?
I think marketing is definitely a big part of the budget.
Right, but, like, when you look on Wikipedia and you see the budget for the movie, does it also take into account the marketing of it or not?
Like, from the Wikipedia, I don't know. I just know marketing is a big part and a lot of money goes towards it.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think in this film, first off, I want to give some positives. Getting back into the film, Scarlett Johansson is a great actor. Her and Jonathan Bailey definitely stood out. Mahershala Ali as well. In this film, there's also a family. that gets stranded on this island.
Oh yeah, kids in the movie.
And in a lot of ways, the family kind of detracted me from really being invested in the film.
Yeah.
This felt very Transformers-y.
That's not good.
Product placement, annoying family members. You know,
From the trailers, it even looks kind of Transformers because everyone just looks like sweaty.
Yeah.
And just like
dehydrated.
It feels like a little saturated. Just the look of it.
I don't get Gareth Edwards.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I don't understand the appeal for him. I don't understand why people like him. I don't understand why people like his directing style. I never really saw the need for Rogue One either. I was never a Rogue One kind of guy.
Yeah, here's the thing that is so interesting.
What's the allure behind this guy? Why is this guy viewed as like one of the better big budget directors out there?
I don't think he even is considered one of the better big budget. I think he's kind of like this weird case where it's like, I think he's a good director because like everyone talks about just like he shows scale really well. He directs like action very well, but the movies he's doing these things in are always like less than the sum of their parts. Like, did you ever watch his movie The Creator?
I've heard about it.
It's a very interesting movie because it looks gorgeous. The effects are amazing. The spectacle, the action, it's spectacular. But the story is kind of weak, and the characters are very weak. And it's like there are some directors who can take a weak story and elevate it with direction. He doesn't seem to be able to do that. For as good as a director as he is, and for as much talent that I think he does have, I don't think he has enough to like get past that bar and elevate weak material. And it's like it's so strange. I would love to see him attached to something with a rock solid script. Because the creator did not have a rock solid script. I doubt this has a rock-solid script. Rogue One needed rewrites from Tony Gilroy about like halfway through. And then the halfway point of that movie is when it gets interesting. It's like a stark contrast, like the first half of Rogue One. This is a review for Rogue One now.
Yeah, no.
The first half is a mess, and then the second half is so much better because someone came in and was like, we need to remove this, add this, just streamline this baby. And then
we need Darth Vader to completely betray his character values to get this one epic badass scene of him killing the crap out of people.
Maybe that was a Disney note, just like we need Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to do this without Darth Vader?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I took over a little bit to go on a Gareth
I mean, there's not
Edwards
much
rant.
I have to say about this film other than I didn't enjoy it, and I severely judge people that find an interest in this film. This is not a good film at all. I just feel like there's adding more to this dead franchise.
Yeah.
And there's no need for more films.
There's
for in this
truly
in this franchise. I just don't think that
yeah.
it's needed. Like, we've seen it, we've done it before. Let it be put to rest. There's this one dinosaur who looks like a mix of T-Rex and the Godzilla creature from 2014.
Oh. Huh. They just keep adding new dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That seems to be the only innovation. It's just like, from what I saw in the trailers, it's just like each new Jurassic World movie is just like, this dinosaur is even more dangerous than the other ones. It's like, it's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Its base level of danger is so high that I don't know how you make it more dangerous, like without, I don't know, giving it like laser eyes.
Yeah.
I need T-Rexes with freaking laser beams on their heads. It's like the Dr. Evil thing.
And the worst part is that the runtime was 2.5 hours.
Really?
Not
2.5 hours?
2:15.
Okay, but that's
still bad.
That's still like, if the movie's bad, that feels like it can feel even longer though.
It was not fun. And people say, oh, it's a summer blockbuster. Just like shut your brain off and watch it. But even then, it's like.
But we have had some really good summer blockbusters so far, especially this year, that, you know, are more than just bang bang pow action. Like there's a bit more. Like I still haven't seen it, but F1 seems to, be an action blockbuster with like a little bit more going on.
And it's original. That's the main part about it. Is that like
It's a racing movie.
Yeah, it's a racing movie. We've seen racing movies in the past, but like at
Speed
least
Racer.
Yeah, Speed Racer, Cars, Need for Speed, as well. But it's still original in its script. It still has original characters. It's not banking off an IP.
Yeah.
And I think in a lot of ways, like make a dinosaur movie, Death of a Unicorn, with all of its issues, it's still original.
It is.
I feel as if Universal needs to make an original dinosaur movie that isn't tied to the Jurassic World canon.
Yeah. I mean,
having said all that, I did see the Christopher Nolan teaser for The Odyssey.
There's a teaser for The Odyssey?
Yeah.
Really?
So this is what happened.
Ooh, okay.
The Nicole Kidman Coca-Cola ad ends. The lights shut off. And I'm like, okay, the movie's about to start. No. They shut the lights off.
Yeah.
For the Christopher Nolan teaser of The Odyssey.
Ooh, okay. Does it show you like anything from the movie?
It shows you Tom Holland and John Bernthal.
Okay. Cool.
And them and their set pieces and all that.
Okay. Interesting.
Not much is revealed about the plot.
That's good. Well, I mean, the plot is The Odyssey, and I think everyone kind of knows what The Odyssey is about.
Yeah. But they did turn the lights off for that teaser.
That's
so that
cool.
is kind of saying something about how much they're banking on this film to succeed. Because they know they're not getting their money.
They're like, this movie's so bad. Let's try to get them in the seats by promising them 45 seconds of a movie next year that will be good.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
That was their public apology note. We're sorry we made you sit through 2 hours and 15 minutes of this family trying to mend their broken relationship. But that's Jurassic World Rebirth. Don't watch
Jurassic
it.
World.
Do not watch it.
I won't.
It's not even like bad in a good way. Like sometimes you watch a bad movie and you're like, yeah, this is bad, but it's fun to watch. I'm sure we felt that way about Death of a Unicorn. Maybe I don't remember much about Death of a Unicorn, but I do remember.
I remember being entertained at some points in Death of a Unicorn.
This is not that.
Okay, well,
This
that's
is not that
unfortunate.
whatsoever.
It's expensive slop. Is basically what it is. Okay, well.
This movie should be renamed Death of the Jurassic Park franchise because it definitely did feel like a death of the franchise.
Aren't they making 2 more after this one?
I'll watch it.
I think
I'll watch it. I'm not gonna like it, but I'll watch it.
All right, so I guess wrapping up our thoughts for this episode, for this week in movies. We've gone on for a little bit talking about this.
Let's recap. Let's
recap very quickly.
Materialists.
F1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And Jurassic World Rebirth. Nah, down
Bad.
the toilet.
Down. All bad.
So 3 movies that you could or don't want to watch in the theaters. There are your options for this week.
We'll definitely come back next week to discuss Superman.
Superman, yes.
Thankfully, we didn't watch Megan 2.0.
No Mathregan.
No interest in that.
I'm good.
Holding
on to my vagina.
Off-camera conversation, but did you hear about Jason Blum?
What about him?
He was talking about the losses of his films, financial losses of his films, and how he needs to reassess the direction of Blumhouse.
I thought the point of his movies was like make them so low budget that there's never a loss. Isn't that the point?
Yes, but now he's like, we got to make it like Long Legs. We got to make it mid-budget to high budget. We need to put all our marbles in and make it. I
thought that's what they were already doing. Is he just? Why doesn't he just make something good?
He's just speaking into the void now, which is funny.
Oh wow.
Jason Blum, the gift that keeps on giving. if you consider them to be gifts, the movies that come out of his production company.
Blumhouse used to at least do like one good movie amongst like all their garbage for like every every like truth or dare or whatever they make, they throw out like a Get Out or an Upgrade, and it'd be like, whoa, they can make good movies. But now it's just like
Woman in the Yard,
Mathregan,
Wolfman
2.0. Yeah.
So Those are our thoughts on
Those
everything.
are our thoughts.
On
Those are our
everything.
thoughts.
Literally everything.
Literally everything that
we
could
had our
be
video
happening.
recap. We had 3 movies that we discussed ad nauseum. We had our thoughts on the future of Blumhouse.
On Blumhouse.
Everything you wanted. Anyways, that's it for today.
Yeah.
We'll discuss the new James Gunn movie
Yeah.
next week. I'm kind of excited for it because I do have some expectations for the movie.
Me too.
And we just hope that it can revive a dead franchise.
Hopefully. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.